What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Max Torres with Scoop Duck. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also go ahead and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything whenever we throw something new on the channel. And if you feel so inclined, make sure to drop us a like on the video. It really helps out with the channel. In this video, I want to tackle my Torres Take weekly feature that is posted on scoopduck.com. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to go ahead and head over to our website and subscribe for the latest in all of Oregon football recruiting news as well as football team news. And this week we have a lot of big news highlighted by a wide receiver commit. So let's break it down. Without a doubt, the biggest storyline that we saw in Oregon football recruiting this past week was when the Ducks added four-star wide receiver Isaiah Brevard from Mississippi. He is a composite four-star and is an All-American. He committed to the Ducks over a lot of really big finalists that we saw him considering for his recruitment. Those schools include Baylor, Missouri, Texas A&M, Florida State, Georgia, and Penn State. Again, this is a big statement recruiting win by Mario Cristobal and his staff, as well as Brian McClendon. You'll remember that he's the new wide receiver coach coming over from South Carolina for the Ducks. He won the title of the National Recruiter of the Year back in 2014. If we check in on the Ducks 2021 wide receiver class, Brevard joins five-star All-American wide receiver Troy Franklin, as well as modern-day standout Kyron Ware-Hudson, who could very well be getting a bump in the rankings sometime soon. So a lot of really big names that we're seeing in the Ducks 2021 class, and Brevard only adds to that crazy list of talent that we're seeing. And many experts are saying that the Ducks wide receiver talent in this 2021 class is among the best, if not the very best, in the country. If we take a look at the 247 Sports Composite, for Brevard, he comes in as the 140th overall prospect in the entire country, the number 25 wide receiver, and the number 2 prospect in the always talent-rich state of Mississippi. He is rated a 4-star prospect at .9383, and as you can see there, he had 22 total offers, so really a big statement for the Ducks to go out into the SEC territory again and show that they're a national brand and bring Brevard into the fold. I think this is another big storyline because a lot of people have been mentioning and following the recruitment of 4-star wide receiver Xavier Worthy from the Fresno area out in California. There's a lot of rumblings that he could be looking like a Michigan lean now, and Oregon made the decision to more or less move on and take Brevard. And now it looks like their last guy that they're really trying to narrow in their focus on is 4-star wide receiver Donte Thornton out of Baltimore, Maryland. And he could be the last piece of this wide receiver puzzle. So big pickup for the Ducks. If we want to take a quick look at his film, he is, a 6'4", 200+ pound wide receiver, very physically imposing, a guy that the Ducks really need at wide receiver, as these blue blood programs that are very successful consistently have length at pretty much every position, especially with the wide receiver position, and it just adds to the weapons that the quarterback can have. When we're looking at Brevard's game, he's a physically imposing receiver that is very powerful and plays with a lot of physicality. He's explosive and he can make things happen after the catch. He'll obviously present matchup problems for a lot of defensive backs once he comes to Eugene. I'm not so sure if he's the kind of talent that is can't miss absolutely right away. He's gonna play, but we could see him, maybe get a year in the system, and then when he's that redshirt freshman, really take off and hit his stride with the Ducks. Following this commitment, I want to take a bigger look at the 247 rankings in the 2021 class, particularly in the Pac-12. This commitment moves Oregon past USC for the number 5 class in the nation, and that moves USC to the number 7 class. Something of note to pass along for this class currently, the Ducks still have some room. They are getting much more selective from here on out, but the average ranking for the commits in this 2021 class is .9196, which is tops in the country, among the tops in the country, I should say, and it's also actually even better than the program's best ever recruiting class. If you look back at the 2019 rankings, the Ducks came in at number 7, and that was their best finish in program history, and the average commit was .9070. So Mario Cristobal has done some big things in the past, but I think this is just a sign that he's not slowing down anytime soon, and that the Ducks are still going to be a force to be reckoned with. Also, 247 Sports Director of Recruiting Steve Wiltfong recently added Oregon into the teams in the race for the #1 class in the country. Ohio State holds that spot right now with a lot of elite 4-star talent, but the Ducks are being included among the best of them in the entire country, and this commitment just helps their case. Now that Brevard is in the fold, many people might be asking, who's next for the Ducks? Well, we thought it was going to be Xavier Worthy for a while, but I think he's probably going to be going to Michigan at this point. I feel confident in saying that. He's wanted to get a visit out to Michigan. His mom's been very pro-Michigan throughout the entire process, so the Ducks will shift their focus now to 4-star defensive lineman Keanu Williams from Clovis, California, a good friend of Xavier Worthy. Williams is announcing this Saturday, the 11th. He'll be live streaming his commitment on Instagram. And I think some of the finalists that we're going to see involved here, obviously Oregon is a big one to watch, and then UCLA, USC, and Stanford. Williams is a top 30 prospect in the state of California, so he's a big name. Oregon always wants to keep that pipeline to California strong. I'd be shocked if the Ducks are not the pick for Williams, and he'll just add to this already strong class. And he's adding to an extreme position of need should he choose the Ducks, with Terrell Tillman being the only lineman that the Ducks have on the defensive side of the ball for this class. In other news, the Ducks made the top 8 for one of the top defensive linemen in the entire country, the top prospect in the state of Louisiana in defensive tackle, Mason Smith. He included the Ducks with a lot of big names, along with Alabama, Florida, Georgia, LSU, Miami, Oklahoma, and Pac-12 rival USC. Right now, a lot of experts have Smith slated to go to LSU. They made a big hire bringing Bo Pelini back. If you recall, he was the defensive coordinator there, or on the defensive staff from 05 to 07. And this is a big hire bringing him back after David Aranda departed for Baylor. So LSU looks like they could be the team to beat here, but I think one thing that this list shows you is that Oregon, since they've prioritized a lot of big names throughout the process, they have a lot of big guys in the fold, but now that they can be more selective, they're being more selective with these top tier guys, borderline 5-star talents, multiple 5 stars. They're still in the running with for JT Tuilamola, I think is his name, if I'm saying that right, and Korey Foreman, a name that everyone's familiar with. So Ducks might not be the team to beat here, but nonetheless a good storyline for this coaching staff. Oregon quarterback commit Ty Thompson competed in the Elite 11 in Nashville just this past week, so that's a big storyline for Oregon football. He didn't come away with the MVP award, but he was one of the top performers at the event. He's almost guaranteed to get a bump in the rankings. He absolutely balled out and proved that he belongs among the nation's best. I'm not sure if he'll be a 5-star when all is said and done, but regardless of his distinction or anything, this is one of the top signal callers in the country, and Oregon fans should be really, really excited about Thompson coming into the fold. I interviewed him on Zoom, so I'll make sure to link that somewhere here in the video, so make sure to go check that out. You're not going to want to miss it. Taking a quick break from football to check in on some basketball news. Oregon forward CJ Walker announced his intent to transfer from the program over the past week. He's a former 5-star from Florida, 6'8", slasher, really entertaining guy to watch. Sucks that he's leaving Oregon, but we've seen a lot of people realize, during the coronavirus pandemic, they want to be closer to family. And it was recently announced that Walker will be transferring to UCF to be closer to his family. So we wish him all the best at UCF, and once a Duck, always a Duck. Now taking a look on the offers that Oregon sent out recently, a lot of people have been asking, what's Oregon doing at safety? We keep seeing them taking all these cornerbacks. If Keanu Williams commits, they'll be taking a defensive lineman. So what's happening at safety, especially as spots are filling up? One recent offer that I want to highlight is 2021 3-star safety Isaiah, I hope I'm saying this right, I'm probably going to butcher it, Novokobia from Skyline High School in Dallas, Texas. He's currently an SMU commit, which is kind of surprising because we don't see too many people going with SMU nowadays. kind of a smaller program, but regardless, he's an SMU commit, has 34 total offers, and is one of the top prospects in the state of Texas. So I think he's an interesting name that Duck fans should keep an eye on. You know, with everything that's going on, some people might be, you know, slated to stay closer to home like I was talking about, but I think that if the Ducks really want him, they're going to prioritize him and show him that they want him in Eugene and that he can be one of the great safeties in this 2021 class. The other offer that caught my eye in this recent batch of offers comes in the class of 2022 in defensive tackle Walter Nolan. He is 6'5", 280 pounds out of IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. He's the number 6 player in the entire class of 2022, so he's a really big name guy that pretty much everybody's probably going to try to be after at some point. He currently has 13 total offers, so not a ton at the moment, and Oregon is you know, trying to be one of those schools that is first in line. You know, we were with you from the beginning. If we're looking at him on film, he's a really powerful player, plays with vicious hands, and is incredibly physical and has great pursuit of the ball. So this is a guy that Ducks definitely want, and a name that we're going to want to keep an eye on here as his recruitment progresses. That'll do it for another edition of Torres Take. If this is your first time watching the channel, welcome. I do a lot of other videos just like this, so make sure to check them out. I'll link the playlist somewhere here in the video. I try to do Torres Take every week, provided that there is enough news. So make sure you go ahead and head over to scoopduck.com, where you can find my article, which is a free read every week. It's an in-depth look at the top storylines as well as the recent offers that the Oregon football staff has made on the trail. That's it for this one, guys. Hope everybody stays safe and everyone's doing well out there. That's it for me. I'll see you in the next video.